Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday morning, and my extractions from yesterday feel perfectly fine. I followed doctor's orders, dentist orders, and been careful about what I'm drinking, what I'm eating, which hasn't been very much. I've had my cups of coffee tepid, which I don't really like, and my cups of tea a little bit warmer than would be recommended, but there you go. And my pineapple and coconut juice. So I've been existing on that, and I just, for the life of me, I don't know why, last night, about midnight, fancied just a slice of bread and butter. That happens occasionally. I remember as a little girl being at the breakfast table with my mum, and I would have Weetabix usually, or cornflakes, and Mum would always have lemon and hot water and a slice of bread and butter. The milk loaf, it used to be called the round loaf, milk loaf. And so I always used to say, can I have a slice of that? She was always used to say, when you're eating your breakfast. But of course I didn't want it then. Anyhow, this morning's been a difficult one. My back has been so bad. I listen to this, too much information, I suppose, but not really. When I went to the loo in the early hours and just sat there, and I kept my socks on, and put a pair of socks on before I went to bed. And I sat on the loo, got my feet on the floor, and slid, and I slid forward. And luckily, the door was open. I usually close it because I'm Harriet. The door was open, and I slid into the door and managed to grasp onto the handle with one hand and the door with the other. But my back, I could have screamed the house down. It was that bad. And funnily enough, as the morning is 1:30 now, and as the day's progressed, it's felt a bit better. Probably because I'm not doing anything at the moment, I'm not bending. But I had to empty the litter tray again this morning, and that was hard to do. And just putting Harriet's food out as well is difficult to do, but they're the things that have to be done, and they're the basic things that I have done. And that's about all, apart from washing up and making the bed. I can't seem to get to grips with anything. Harriet has ruined the curtains, and I mean ruined them. She was jumping up last night, she was crying, there was nothing there. I even got up with a long handled duster to see if there was a cobweb or something. There wasn't. And what she was crying at is the little pendulum clock that I've got up there. And she was holding onto the curtain with one paw, trying to reach over to it with the other. So I've had to yank the curtains to one side. It's ruined them, there's holes in them and all sorts now, little holes. So I've got to sort out what I'm going to do with my bedroom window. It might just mean a roller blind up during the day and down at night when she's asleep, but she'll probably just sit and cry at it. Anyway, she's been a little bugger. I've left a community post, and it was in response to a community post that Foodie put, in which she attempts to call Yabba from YouTube Underground, tries to call her backwards because of inbreeding that goes on in certain states. And you know, Chantal, Marianne, Foodie, Mrs. Harriet, whoever the hell you are, you need to educate yourself on inbreeding in the royal families of Europe, for example. Certainly inbreeding in regards to the royal families in the Middle East, and in regards to the notable families in the Middle East. You'll find they're all related to the king in somehow, some way. And even when the princes have 2, 3, 4 wives, you know, often a couple of them are first cousins. So before you go off slagging the United States, or anywhere else for that matter, you need to look at the place that you are claiming is now your home. Because you really know nothing about that, do you? Be careful when you're trying to piss on somebody else's home turf. Because the major golden showers probably are more suitable for the land where you're now living. You're going home to Canada soon though, aren't you? Oh, not home. You're going to for a visit, are you? I wonder if the bio-wearing will still take place. It may do on camera, but in real life, who knows? Will you hook up with Tony, Tom, Dick or Harry? Maybe. Who knows? And, you know, really, who cares? Because yes, we poke fun at you, and you love it. That's what you want. It brings traffic, it brings footsteps to your channel. That's what generates your views and your money. And when it stops, if it stops, when it stops, it will stop, because there's going to be another LOL cow along very shortly. There's a few wiggling their way down that pipeline, you know, already. We can see them. So your uniqueness is no longer unique. The only thing unique is for people to see when you're going to drop the facade of being a good Muslim wife. You said yesterday that you were not a good Muslim, that you hadn't picked the Quran up for weeks. I take it that you haven't prayed then for weeks either. Is it all falling apart, dear? Cutie, is it? Never mind. On to better things before I go off. Oh, I didn't say, did I? I'm going for an X-ray and to see what exactly is going on with this, because it's in the early hours of this morning. It made itself well known to me. So going for an X-ray. So before I go, the important thing of today, for me, and maybe for Foodie to take note of, because she thinks she's got such a strong, perfect marriage. Today, the 2nd of August, 2023. It was exactly 58 years today, the 2nd of August, 1965, that Alfie asked me for a date, that we went out. I was just a shy kid, and I really liked him. Anyway, he came and asked me, and I said, that trite old phrase I must have read somewhere, I can't, I'm washing my hair. My hair at that time was long and black, jet black, after my Spanish grandmother, eclectic mix. But yeah, I said I can't, I'm washing my hair. And I heard him go out and say to the fella who told him I liked him, he was a real matchmaker, he said to him, she can't come out tonight, she's washing her hair. So he said, get back in there and ask her again. So he did, and I said yes. And everything from there is history. I'm 58 years, and I love him still. Going to be buried with him. He's never going to get away from me, nor I from him. It's where we should be. Anyway, have a great day, everybody, and I will be back a bit later. I hope you can understand me. I can feel my lip going inwards and it feels strange. I'm sort of gumming it there. It's a very odd feeling, but honestly, as I say to you, or any of you who need dental treatment, go and get it done. No, worrying about it is the worst. Honestly. I'll be back later, everybody. Bye-bye.